Welcome to BlackUSA.news morning show. I'm your host, William Honolulu Jr. Join us as we explore the news and opinions that impact our community. We break down how the major stories have a very personal, local, and racial impact. No topic is off limits, but even if the conversation gets rough, we're always going to keep it real.
All right, all my people out there in internet land, I have an opportunity to talk to you today with my very good friend, Jennifer Hubbard of Maryland Success Lab, LLC. Jennifer and I have been doing business, Jennifer, like 2016, something like that?
It's been some time. Some time.
And so one of the things I do appreciate about Jennifer is the fact that she is not only a grinder, she is a problem solver. A lot of times we run into entrepreneurs and we both do consulting and stuff like that. And so you run into entrepreneurs who are like, oh, I work hard. It's like, but what are you building though? They're like, what? What are you building though?
Yeah.
I'm making money. I'm out here getting it. And it's like, cool, but that means that you're gonna have to get it forever. And so we're coming today, let Jennifer introduce herself to you, but we're coming to you today just to talk about business for real. Jennifer, I'm gonna give you a whole full screen, Jennifer. Go ahead, get it, go get it. Tell them about yourself.
So, my name is Jennifer Hubbard. I am a mother of 4. I'm a nurse educator. I'm an encourager, a person who encourages other people. I'm a business builder. And I am happy to be here on this show today.
She fronting on y'all. She's being very modest right now. She's been on the show before, so we gonna let her blush and bluff her way through this for a little while. But the cool part is I know her well enough to know that partway through this, she gonna be like, look, let me just tell you what the hell is going on and keep it moving from there. All right, so one of the things that's been going on as far as business goes, Jennifer, and we've been talking about this since the pandemic, is that a lot of people have had to re-engineer their business models during the pandemic, and that's the only way they were able to survive. But now they're thinking about okay, it's becoming endemic now. They're vaccines, boosters, masks, and stuff like that. So what do we need to do to come back in? And so as they're thinking about this, they realize that they have no idea who these people are anymore. Because I got to be honest, I'm not the same person that went in the house 2 years ago. And so the customer, and I'm not the same person who's been locked in the house for 2 years. I don't know who the next William is going to be when is back out. How many meetings? Am I going to be COVID sensitive and not go a lot of places? And so people who are looking for my money in the community, y'all know how it goes. One of the show notes is stay calm, don't get overexcited. Because the thing is, Jennifer and I normally just have this conversation, but I forgot, we're not talking right now. This is the show. Interview have to be professional a little bit. So Jennifer, tell us from your experience and what you're advising your clients on. How do they prepare for what's next?
So you have to we've had enough time to really sit down and think about what we're dealing with as business owners. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've had businesses that haven't done well, and I've had to get out of them. And I think a lot of people just need to come to, a concrete decision as to what is it that they really want to do. Don't get in business because your friend is selling lashes, you want to sell lashes. Because your friend is body contouring, you want to do body contouring. These are just some examples, but you really need to find your niche. You need to find something that you really love. And my passion has always been nursing. As a nurse, I love helping people. I love educating people, but you have to find your niche. Then you have to be innovative. Find out who your audience is. What kind of clients do you want to attract? Which is why, we were talking about, when I was talking about doing mobile phlebotomy and stuff like that, because my business not only educates people with different programs in allied health, but we also provide lab services to inpatients, people in nursing homes, people who can't get out because of the pandemic. People have become more ill and they really can't get out. People don't have access to things. So we also have private patients that, pay us to come to their offices and all to draw their blood. However, I get a lot of people asking, doing consultations for help. How can they brand their business? How can they write a grant for their business? So, you know, that's why we've been talking about these workshops, William, because we've been talking about doing, you know, the workshops to help some of these people, because a lot of people don't know what to do. They're stuck. They have their EIN, or they don't know how to get their EIN. Now they have their business. They're inside of brick and mortar. They're paying money and they don't know how to attract clients. So now they need a marketing plan. So these are things that you constantly have to work with. And what I've started to say on my because I just started doing a lot of TikTok, is that you want to be a successful business owner, you have to work on your business every single day. It's not something you say, okay, well, this is going to sell itself. You have to work on your business every single day. I suggest keeping a pen and pencil handy, because as a business owner, you're going to have mixed emotions. You're going to one day be pleasant at 1 hour, you're going to cry the next hour, and you're going to be worried the next hour. You go through so many, you know, emotional changes. But you have to be in tune with yourself and aligned with yourself, and look at the customers you did get. How did you get them? Where did they come from? What is your ideal customer? And start targeting that market. So like I was saying, I suggest you keep a pen and pad handy at all times. I know I do. And keep the same one, because don't be just writing on one piece of paper. You'll lose them. A composition notebook, anything that you keep up with, and just write your ideas, because most of my ideas come when I'm asleep, and I wake up and write it down. Or when I first wake up, I'm like, that's a good idea. Or I may see something that someone else is doing, and I'm like, how could I tweak that to work for me? So don't be like everyone else. That's another thing. Be yourself and let your personality sell your business. It will. People come to me because I'm resourceful and they trust me. So that's why I get a lot of the patients and students that I get. I get a lot of single mothers who are divorced, because I've been divorced twice, and I've raised 4 children by myself without the help of any government assistance. So I know what it's like when people are saying, I don't have a daycare provider. That's why I started doing the virtual classes, because I realized that would put that whole daycare situation under control. You're not spending.
So I'm sorry. The thing about what you're saying that I want to make sure that people are honing in on is, and this is why you should have done a better introduction to yourself, because you brought up mobile for blah to me, all this other stuff you do, whatever. We're going to get to that. I told y'all how it go. But one of the things you talked about is kind of this mindset of business. And you know, I talked about it in the intro, moving from this hustler mentality to a business building mentality. And what you're talking about with the lashes and shapewear and stuff like that, a lot of that is hustling. It is, what is the next thing to just bring money into the house? When you are building a business, it's more about trying to develop a plan and then turn that plan into a system. And that plan, actually, one of the stories that I think this guy illustrates it the best. When I worked at the Haysbrook Center, he came in for some consultation, and he told me about how he got started. He was in finance, like an accountant at one of these, not a big firm, but like a decent sized firm. And so he said he wanted to start his own business, because he started realizing, as he's doing everybody else's business taxes, he's like, well, wait a minute, what am I not doing? And so he started looking at, but he did it differently. What he did, because he realized what his motivation was. His motivation was money. He was like, that's the thing that gets me up in the morning. Now, for a lot of us, that's not the case. So we'll talk about that a little bit. But for him, it was money. If he could find a way to get $1, he was going to do that. So what he did is he started looking at the business models and identifying which one had the lowest, the highest rate of return and highest profit margins consistently. So, I mean, he went through a whole analysis of businesses and different industries, and he settled on lawn care and lawn maintenance.
Wow. And
it was like, wait, what? The suit guy with the, sitting at the computer typing in, and spreadsheet guy is now out there leading a crew. And he said he's never been happier, because all of the business parts that other people who got into lawn care because they were good at it, or some of us, you know about it, Jennifer, how we involuntary entrepreneurs, where it was like, because I have been an involuntary entrepreneur so many times, because especially when you get government contracts or get a job, and then all of a sudden the job goes away, a grant funded job goes away, all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I'm an entrepreneur now. But he moved there because he saw the difference. He saw that he would be able to be motivated, and the stuff that people who were involuntary entrepreneurs or people who had a passion for that type of work, they weren't as good at the money part. They weren't good as the negotiating and leveraging assets. So he had a competitive advantage for them. And so you need to, I think part of what you were talking about is understanding your motivations, because what you did is you looked inside yourself and gave the world what you needed.
Yeah. And I think when you look inside yourself and do that, you're able to become more successful because it's something that you enjoy doing. When I had my Jamaican American restaurant, I love to cook. Anybody who knows
Oh,
me,
wait, no. See, this is what happens when you don't do a good introduction. You don't go around telling people that you just help people, you do business consulting, and then say, when I had my Jamaican restaurant. See, this is why you got to tell them what you do. Tell them about the restaurant, the lunchbox.
Yeah, I chose to do Jamaican restaurant because I knew I could cook well. People were buying food from me prior to me doing the brick and mortar. I was doing some catering. I was networking with a lot of chefs and people in the cooking world. I ended up finding a location. I didn't really think that location through. I believe if I had thought the location through and I had taken my time and planned, I think I would have exceptionally, possibly.
Actually, I call bullshit on that. I'm gonna tell you why I call bullshit, because I was there. I remember you looking for locations, and I remember, so, and this is one of the things that, so I love when y'all get to hear me and Jennifer's conversation, because this is one of the things that we do, not just for each other, but for our clients. For when we're talking to them, it's like, well, wait, because the way we tell ourselves the story is also will guide how we move forward. I remember this part, and the thing is that everything we thought didn't happen. Like, well, no, let me take that back. One of the things that let me be honest, the shadiness of the landlord, there was no way to calculate for that. That was
no way.
But do you see what I'm saying? So, but you can't, and as entrepreneurs, because it all falls on us at the end, you still got to make the money, you still got to do it. We started to blame ourselves when other people did the wrong thing. And I ain't gonna let you sit here on my show and blame yourself for something somebody else did, okay? Ouch. No, but that's one of the things, and that's one of the great reasons I'm glad you agreed to co-host this show about business with me, is that experience of having to go through and dealing with shady landlords and coming back, and then being able to say, I did that, I learned from that, and I have been able to be successful in taking those. See, the show notes tell me that I need to stay quiet and stop telling everybody else's story. I'm gonna do that again. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and mute myself for just.
I survived. That is the main point. I survived it. And in that, when I was dismantling that business, I was like, I'm still working as a nurse anyway. So I'm like, I know what I enjoy doing. I've always taught. So why don't I go back to that? I allowed life situations to stop me from finding my real niche of what I really want to do. I've always taught. Everybody knew I taught CPR like for years. I had a huge following, a huge clientele with that. And I kind of just didn't promote it. I stopped now. My faithful clients continued to call me when it was time for renewals, but I wasn't out there marketing, trying to find people and stuff like that. But once I got myself together, because life happens and sometimes you lose, you lose in a whole lot. You lose a lot of things, valuable people, yourself, money, all of that. And once I found myself and I was able to sit down and really think about what it was I was going to do, because I'm always a promoter of having more than one source of income. I didn't get into business to become my own employee. And I'm still preaching that to myself today, because I find myself, because of course, nobody's going to do it the way that I want to do it. Right. So I had to stop doing that and start letting go. And then as a small business owner, you're afraid to spend too much money because you want to make sure you have enough money to cover your overhead. So sometimes it's not all, faith is a big part, but you do have to do some planning and you do have to start releasing some of your responsibilities, because in order for me to grow, I definitely have to let go some of my duties, because I won't be able to fulfill all of everything. And I won't be able to take my business to the next level if I don't. So I think once you find yourself, get a good system. And like I said, Mr. Honeyblue and I are trying to really put together, we have put together.
Yeah,
not trying.
Don't say trying though. We well beyond trying.
Excellent systems, because, I said to myself, I will never allow another organization to use my nursing license and my NPI number to make money when I know I can build the insurance company myself and get all of the money to myself. Don't give me part of it. I want it all. So, you know, if you're looking at this today and you've been contemplating on this business, you know, you didn't just come past this BlackUSA.news today just to come past. You came through today for me to tell you that 2022 is not next year, not in 5 years, not when you save up 10,000. You need to do it now. The more creative you can become, because when I came up with my virtual program, I was laying across my bed. I decided I wasn't going to work because of the pandemic. My second job as a supervisor, nursing supervisor. And the idea came to me, and I started writing it down, and I started typing up stuff. And that first week, I had $16,000 in my bank account, and it kept going. So, you know, when you really find yourself and you're really putting your all to it, and you start working on your business every day, it gets better. So we put together some programs, and Mr. Honolulu, I'm going to talk about a few of mine, and then I'll let you talk about yours.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm gonna give you, you know what? I'm gonna give you a full, go ahead, take the whole screen. Go ahead, do that. Take the whole screen. There you go. You got the whole screen.
So I don't have my computer connected. So, but I'm just going to talk about it.
I'm telling you, you got the whole screen. That's fine. Go ahead. Go ahead and tell about it. Spit that fire, girl.
So my business is Maryland Success Lab. And at Maryland Success Lab, we do quite a few things. So as a nurse educator, I teach quite a few allied health programs. I am waiting for the approval, because one thing I want to tell you is you don't want to be bootleg. You don't want to do something and then it's not right. And then you got to worry about people coming in and cracking down. So I am waiting for my final approval to teach the CCMA, which is the medical assistants, and the pharmacy tech. So that should be rolling out within the next 2 weeks. I mean, the next 2 months.
Wait. Slow down. You all excited, and you let the people digest it. That's a lot to take in. The CCMA.
A clinical certified medical assistant, and then the pharmacy tech, because pharmacy techs are in demand right now. I currently teach quite a few programs, but I'm only going to talk about 2 of them. I have the virtual phlebotomy class, which is also offered in person. So we have a phlebotomy technician. You are nationally certified, but you can do the whole course online and then come in for labs, or you can use, you know, someone at your job or someone that we approve to actually educate you and sign off for you for your practice. The national exam can be virtual or on paper. But if you leave Maryland and go to Virginia, Georgia, it's still valid. I also have the instructor course for that. So if you're looking to become an instructor for phlebotomy, I can do that. I do teach CPR and first aid. I'm an ACLS, PALS, and BLS instructor for American Heart.
You just gonna throw a whole bunch of letters at us? Don't do that. You disrespect.
That is, and those who have it, they know what it is. So the basic life support, CPR. So I do CPR basically for the lay person and for the medical professional, the doctor, the nurse, advanced clinical life support, and PALS, which is pediatric advanced life support. I'm also an instructor for BLS. So if you're looking to become a CPR instructor, you want to start your own CPR business, I can assist you with that. I am offering consultations. Unfortunately, because I have so many people, I don't mind giving some information sometimes, but I have begun to charge $30 for 30 minutes, which I think is very reasonable and affordable. But I have also done a partnership with Mr. Honolulu, where we're going to be doing some training for individuals who are trying to build their business. So I'm on Instagram at Maryland Success Lab. I'm on Facebook at Maryland Success Lab, and I'm on TikTok at Maryland Success Lab. And I do a lot of
Maryland Success Lab or MD Success Lab.
For which one?
I don't know. I mean, if they go,
no, it's written out.
Okay. I just want to make sure. I didn't want people to be like, I don't even see it. It's MD Success Lab.
You'll see the red cross. It's like 2 red crosses. That's how you'll know that it's me. But if you type Maryland Success Lab and you Google it, you'll also find it. Our phone number here is 443-353-9729. And if you want to shoot an email, it's at administration. So the word administration written out at mdsuccessllc.com. And so we are partnering with Mr. Hana Blue, who doesn't brag enough about himself, but we use him to give when we do our workshops with, when people have questions for attorneys, he's your guy. So Mr. Hana Blue, tell him about the parts that we're going to be doing together.
Okay, all right.
Put him on his own show.
What'd you say?
I said, put him out there on his own show.
Oh, absolutely. I'm okay with it. So one of the things that I am, and I tell you all this all the time, I am one of the smartest people that most people will meet. And it's fact. The other part too is that as it pertains to businesses, especially for micro enterprises, and that's businesses less than 250,000 in annual revenue and less than 7 individuals, employees or contractors, I've developed a specialty in that space, especially when it comes to startup, especially when it comes to people of color, especially when it comes to women of color. One of the things that I have been able to do is really not just, and we talk about this sometimes on the show, not just help you get this answer this time, but also really help you develop the ways to think through the problem so that the next time you encounter something similar, you already have a method that you can analyze it and not just apply the same answer before to a new set of context. I was just talking to my mom. I said, we were talking about how life context or how life changes impact your decision-making. And one of the things I said is like, if it's a sunny day outside and I go outside and I don't take my umbrella, if it rains outside, I need to bring my umbrella because the world has changed. How I make decisions have changed. If I just assume like, well, the last time I went outside, I didn't bring an umbrella and I go back outside, it's like, that is based on my experience, that actually might make sense because I didn't even know I would need an umbrella. But if you develop a system, you're just like, okay, first, let me check the weather before I go outside. You make that part of your day. You have less of an opportunity because things still happen outside of your control. But the more information you have and the more you build that into a routine and a system, the less likely it is that your business will suffer from human error. And it's not difficult because you're going to have to do the same things anyway. If I've had a client, and I think I've talked about this client before, came to me to put a business plan together because she needed $40,000. And I was like, okay, what do you need the $40,000 for? Marketing. Okay, but like, what are you going to do with the marketing? Oh, I'm going to use the money to do marketing on like social media and a website so I can get more customers. It was like, okay, but how does $40,000 for a website and marketing get you new customers? Well, I put stuff on social media and it was like, well, but what are you going to put out there? Are you buying ads? And the issue was that she didn't know because she didn't have a plan. She just knew mentally she needed to do marketing. She needed a lot of money. She had heard other people were saying numbers like 50, 60, 40, whatever. And based on that, she decided. But it's kind of like I've gone outside for the last 5 days and I talked to other people who've gone outside and it's not been raining. So why would I ever bring an umbrella?
Just
when
in
I
case
told her,
you need.
I said, if I give you $40,000 right now, like just here you go, 40,000, you wouldn't know what to do with it. You'd still have to go out and figure out what to do with it. And that's money I'm out now while you're learning on my dollar. And she was like, and that conversation transformed how she saw business. Because for her, it was, you need to help me and then I'll be able to do it. But then she realized she didn't actually know how to do it. And that transitioned how we were able to work. And that happens a lot in allied health, and especially people who are moving from being employees to starting a business or starting their entrepreneurial journey. That
you gotta change that.
Absolutely, because if all you've ever known, if you've only ever been around employees, if you've only ever known W-2 life, nothing wrong with that. Honestly, I miss a good W-2 right now. I got to tell you what, it's hard out here for a brother. Oh my God, a good W-2 all the time, every 2 weeks. I know exactly how much gonna be. Woo! Oh, sorry, I gotta kind of calm down on that. But if that's all you ever known, why would you know what you need to do to market? Because all you know, you see ads on Facebook and then you buy stuff, or you see ads for something and you buy stuff. So you don't understand the thought process. Like how much research had to go in to figure out what thing to put, what picture to put right there to get in front of you. And
what time?
Oh, and how many times?
Because, and how many times?
Don't even get me started. Actually, watch this. One of the platforms that we use at BlackUSA.news, or the main platform we use, is called StreamYard. I've been a Zoom fan my whole, especially during the pandemic. Before the pandemic, but the pandemic, I fell in love with Zoom because it kept me safe, and I learned the beauty of the mute button. Camera off too. I'm gonna tell you what, my entire wardrobe has changed. I have a lot of tops. I got shorts and sweatpants and jeans. Honestly, I don't even remember the last time I went to the dry cleaners and took some pants in there.
Oh my God.
But so I enjoy Zoom, but guess what? The president of one of the organizations that I volunteer with, she wanted to use StreamYard for a couple of events. And I'm like, oh, why can't we just use Zoom? And she was like, no, StreamYard. And so I used StreamYard this one time, and guess what kept happening? All of a sudden, I started getting all these ads for StreamYard. So I started paying attention. And then guess what? It's the platform that we use at BlackUSA.news. Okay. And because I've seen it, because she talked about it positively, now that I'm using it, I'm not sitting at meetings like, why we got to use this? Why aren't we doing Zoom? I'm at least willing to give it a chance. But StreamYard had no idea about that the first time I got a friggin' ad. Wow. Because the first time I got an ad, it was all about that Zoom life. I thought this was still, I thought another fly-by-night, again, because I had no basis. But their marketing, just me seeing it and the other people using it, has changed my opinion about StreamYard, and now I'm very proficient in it. And that's what we teach people when you're trying to start your, and you know what, let's talk a little bit about the mobile phlebotomy. I'm gonna wrap this point up, and then you can talk a little bit about, kind of the method and things about starting a mobile phlebotomy business. But if you don't understand the system that you need to make these things happen, somebody could give you money, and the only thing you're gonna do is give it to somebody else and not know why. Yeah. This woman had no idea what type of website she needed. She had none of that information. What kind of post do you need to send? Because all she knows is that she sees posts on Facebook and then she buys stuff. And so with that 40,000, she would have wasted it. And there are literally people out there whose entire business model is finding people who don't know what they're doing to charge them a bunch of money to do really simple things. And so that's why it's really important to us. And one of the reasons that we're doing this show is that we want to make sure that people understand that there's a better way. You don't have to always just give people a bunch of money. Now, don't get it twisted, you're going to give us money. Yeah, need you to make sure you know that. But we do.
But stop allowing. That's another thing. How are you in business? You're in business to make money. It's okay to donate sometimes, but stop allowing Pookie and them and all your friends.
Go ahead. You're going to leave Pookie alone.
If you're in business, your real friends are going to support you. My real friends will pay the price even when I tell them no. So, at some point, you have to make sure you're getting your money's worth.
Here's the thing. That is a growth place. That is not where people start off. Most of the time, because again, most of us, we believe, and our families have told us, oh, if you had that, I'd be in for it. And the thing is that they really do believe it, but reality sets in. How many times have you, there's been a number of events that I'm like, oh, I'm on my way, but between traffic or I just didn't feel like it or I got sick, I didn't go. And so sometimes that's what it is. And sometimes they just have opinions of what you're doing and stories in their head. But that's also goes back to one of the things that we do, whether it's in phlebotomy or whether it's in training or whether it's in business development or whether it's grant writing. We help you focus on your practical genius. We help you focus on what those things are that you already know. If you already know that you're heavy-handed, then we teach you how to do venipuncture lightly. We teach you the different techniques that match. If we know that your family may not be the most supportive, well, then we figure out either A, what would make them supportive, or B, figure out a new population. And a lot of it is just this, is making decisions that nobody ever taught us how to make before.
Yes.
So tell me about mobile phlebotomy, because I think honestly I'm really excited. That's the one I'm really, really excited about.
Tell you about the business or about
tell them about the business conceptually, and let them know that that's going to be one of the services that or one of the consulting pieces that we're going to be bringing forward, because you talk about it so much better than I do.
If you've been a phlebotomist for at least 2 years, you're out here working, and I'm not bashing because we all need to work in a hospital. all, but why not consider starting your own business? You're really good at it, right? If you've been training on your job, why not become an instructor, right? Where you're making money outside of your place of employment. That's your second stream of income. Then you can start to save and accumulate. Now we're talking about generating wealth, because when you're working your business should be paying for everything, and you can pocket and save your employment money until you are able to set yourself free from the corporate world. So with mobile phlebotomy, the services are any lab services. I mean, we talking about COVID testing, any venipunctures, for blood collection. We do most tests, and any urine collections, any stool we do any lab, just like the LabCorp and Questive. So we'll go out to a person's home, their apartment, their job or place of employment, anywhere, and we'll perform the lab test for them and have it processed for them and get it to their physician, right? So you can do this business. Let's say if you're a phlebotomist, you've been doing this for 10 years and you're working your job and you're doing all this overtime. You can work your regular job, do your time, and then do your own mobile phlebotomy after hours, on the weekends, during holidays. And you can charge per person. You might charge people anywhere from, on the lower end of $40 upwards to $60. And then now with gas prices the way that they are, add mileage for, distances. And there again, well, that they can't afford it. I get it. Those aren't your clients. There's Walmart and there's Nordstrom. So you want to get the clientele that you're looking for. And the clientele that you're looking for, these people are willing to pay. Ask me. They pay my business. They don't mind paying $150 for you to come out to their mother who cannot get out by herself. She needs a COVID test because they're going on a cruise. And she also needs her blood work done by her physician. They don't mind. And guess what? Leave the tip line open. They will tip you. Ask me. I know. So you can make money on your own, but I would also suggest that you are a certified phlebotomist. The reason is because high-end customers want to see credentials. And this is where I say sometimes certain people, we bootleg things. We have to do it. Don't have to do it. Use your credentials. If you're not credentialed, then I have a phlebotomy class. You can get certified in 4 weeks. You understand? And that is something you can push. I am a certified phlebotomist, right? I have been drawing blood for over 10 years. That's what you can say if this is your story. And this is one of your selling components. But you cannot sell yourself if you have no documentation to prove that you're an expert at this. People don't want, and there are businesses that are hiring any old body, and these people are leaving out with, marks on their arms and things aren't getting done right, and somebody else got to come out, or they end up having to really go to LabCorp. You don't want that stated about your business. You want to provide the excellent customer service, but you want to be credentialed. You want to have your paperwork together so that when you are marketing yourself, you can say, I am certified. I am nationally certified. And then you go out and you do your business. And we'll teach you how to get your business started, how to market for these high-end clients, because I will service anyone. I will charge insurance. I will. Now, my preference is my high-end clients, because I love giving what I call concierge services, where I am who I can wear what I want to wear, but I always put on that white lab jacket. That's my signature. You adapt your own. I come in, I'm professional. I have all of my equipment. I do what I have to do. I've gone to the most beautiful homes, that I wish the one day to have. But I to some of the most beautiful homes. I've met some of the most beautiful people, and I go in and I'm out. Now, my high-end clients, I don't have to worry about if they're going to pay. I don't. They will pay me, but you will develop a relationship with them that you don't have to worry about, oh my God, I need my money up front. Normally I do. For certain, with your first time, you need to pay. Now you won't get
Wait, hey, Jennifer, I gotta stop you, because you're giving away the whole curricula right here. These are the behind the scenes things that people need to pay for a little bit. You feel me? But one of the things that I want to make sure that we highlight is that in starting a mobile phlebotomy business, you don't have to give up everything. Like you still work and you're able to do these types of things with your kids. And also, while Jennifer is talking about her brand, one of the other things that we have the capacity to help you with is to figure out who your target customer is and who your brand is. Because guess what? Not only is there Walmart and Target, but there's also Foreman Mills, Rainbow. And each of these organizations make money. And so you may not, you may not roll up to Roland Park with Jennifer and pull into the Owings Mills and pull into the well manicured lawns. But I know, I know a carryout on Greenmount that has been open forever. And for those of y'all who aren't from around here, Greenmount and 33rd, it is not the most economically invested area. But these carryouts have been there for a while. Huh?
Leave before dark.
Go ahead, stop talking about my people like that. Just because you don't, I live down here, okay? But that's my point. Like you can make money. You may not know the high-end people, but you may decide that you want to charge less because your living expenses are less. This is about you making the decisions for your business and understanding who your clients are so that you can build your enterprise.
Mm-hmm. And people will pay because, people don't want to get their 90-year-old mother up out of the bed. They got to get her dressed. They got to put the diaper, change the diaper because she at the door. People do not want to do that. And most people who have 90-year-old mothers, they're not themselves. They're usually 60 and 70 themselves. So they can't do it. And so now, because of all of the shortages, with the businesses, MTA and different things like that, it's hard. So they're willing to pay for a mobile phlebotomist or a nurse to come out and draw their parents' labs. They're willing to do it. The kids get together and they find the way. So your high-end, it's not, like I said, your serving everyone will get you everybody, because serving the person on Green Mountain 33rd, you never know who, look at Mr. Honeyblue. This is an attorney. A person who is running BlackUSA.news. You can't judge a book by its cover. You can't say because of where people live that you're not going to get a high-end client, because I could get referrals from Mr. Honeyblue, and these people may not live on 33rd, or they may be his neighbors, but I'm going to go down there and I'm going to still provide the same concierge services because I want my brand to be good, and people are going to start to talk about me in a good way.
That is the ending hook. It is, if you need to know what it takes to get your clients to bang with you. I don't know anybody who goes to McDonald's because the food is so fresh and tastes so good and the customer service is so great. They go because it's convenient and it's consistent. And they started brainwashing us in childhood, but that's a different show. But
brainwashed the Chick-fil-A. Shout out to the waffle flyers.
Oh yeah, no. But that's actually, but that was the distinction that I wanted to draw. Is that McDonald's still kills it.
They do.
As far as making money, and they still dominate the entire fast food industry. But Chick-fil-A has a very loyal following. You don't have to, and guess what? The Burger Shack that I'm talking about on 33rd, loyal following. And so it really is about understanding how you fit with your target market. Like I would never be a Louis Vuitton kind of guy because I like mathematically, I can't understand spending that kind of money on anything. Like I enjoy Walmart, Foreman Mills, and those types of places because because I spill a lot. So like I could stain this out, like, okay, throw it away. But if I get to Louis Vuitton, I just walk away. If I had Louis Vuitton, it's like, okay, don't breathe on me, go away.
Don't spill your
nowhere. I couldn't. I'd have to give up coffee and liquor. Go ahead, stop playing. But do you see what I'm saying? So I'm never going to be a Louis Vuitton client now, maybe as a gift. But again, you still need to know who I am, even to see if I'm part of your clientele. Because sometimes we talked about your restaurant. One of the things that we anticipated was the ability to do supply for food truck and stuff like that. And when Baltimore City was all wild about mobile and all that other stuff, that's when things got twisted. And also they were planning to do development in that area. Then all of a sudden they decided not to. And so there are factors, no matter how much you plan, that may be beyond your control. But because of the way, and I want to say this to you publicly, because of the way you planned, it was not as bad as it could have been. The fact that you had your documentation, the fact that you took pictures, the fact that you kept a log when the landlord, and because there was another lady in there who the landlord started to do some shady stuff to her too, but she didn't have any documentation. And what did she ended up on, like $1,200 or something like that?
She did. She ended up owing him.
Yeah, and honestly, didn't he end up helping you, like giving you some resources to move? And say again?
And do your research on people, because come to find out, he was running it, but he wasn't the owner of the building. So technically, had we done our research when he took her to court, she could have said, "You don't even own this building."
Right, but again, part of the challenge, and this is one of the reasons that we do this show, and we want to make sure that we work with businesses. Why would she know how to do that?
Yeah.
The reason that we found out is because this is what I do.
Yeah. So we have to, I guess, in a nutshell, we really, if you want to start a business, you got to do your homework. You got to connect with the right people, and don't just connect with anyone. I mean, we would love to take, help you here, but people say, "Oh, she's good, he's good." I even had a friend, and this is a real close friend of mine. Mm-hmm. She's opening a nursing agency, and her best friend aunt does pay. The aunt was doing paperwork and wanted her to do a nonprofit. She was pushing her into a nonprofit, the nonprofit paperwork. You don't have to pay taxes and you don't have all your money. I said, are you becoming a not-for-profit business? No. I said, you're in business to make money, right? Okay, then the not-for-profit isn't what you want to
do. That. That is not what that does.
Her aunt was bedridden, but she was able to function and move, but she had some template that she was just going to stick her business up and sell it to her, and she then found out that's not what she wanted. She started off with her, but I was able to educate her and help redirect her. This isn't the way that it goes, because you really want to make sure that you are making concrete decisions in life, and that everybody you can't help. You have to really look at, what it is that you're trying to do and make sure you're doing it right. Because if you don't line your business up correctly, it's going to bite you real hard at the end. When you're trying to look at all of the people who missed it. I didn't get money, but look at all of the people who could have had money that are probably making a lot of money during the pandemic. They didn't file their taxes. So you weren't even eligible to do certain things. So sometimes we're our own hindrance. We're our own stumbling block. So we need to really make sure that we're putting our business, we're aligning it properly, that we're doing it the way that the state says we have to do it. Get a good accountant, not somebody that does them and they're using this system. Get someone who knows what they're doing. Educate yourself.
And that is really important, but also understand your limitations. If you are not good with spreadsheets, or you're not good at recording money, that's another reason, another way we can help you. Because if you're not good at it, we can show you what resources that you can use so that you don't have to be. Like there's a number of software apps where you can just scan your receipts, it puts that in. But the issue is that most of us don't know about those things, because that's never had to be part of our lives.
Never had to be part of your life.
Ooh, Jennifer, I had a good time as always. Let's see. You want to do this again next week? I think we should do this again next week.
Yeah, we need to get these people on board. But I've given out.
Let them know how we can help them. So how about this? Next week, what we'll do? You want to run a business case?
Yeah.
So let's find one of our clients and see if either they want to come on or they don't mind us sharing their story, and we just chop it up and let people know what kind of advice and how the process works. Does that sound good?
Sounds wonderful.
Cool in the gang. Thank you.
Thank you.